Hello everyone. Our final session of the day is one that's especially close to our hearts. As payments and finance continue to evolve, so do the voices shaping them. And today we're spotlighting those who aren't just at the table, but truly owning the room. Please take your seat, or not just seated at the table, woman owning the role. Introducing the session is Ioanna Leptou, Executive Director at Admirals Europe. Let's welcome Ioanna and our incredible female leaders.
Hey, Ioanna. So in this session, we will go deeper than the usual talk. We're exploring how women are founding companies and how women are driving innovation, let's say, leading teams and prioritizing mental health, where it's a subject that we will touch also on that aspect. In such industries that someone will say that are man-ruled. We have no cliches, no fluff, only honest conversation between us. We just women here. So I want to hear your real strategies as a woman and that they are applied and successes earned through this path that you have followed. So we have today with us two outstanding female figures and personalities. So I'm welcoming Lissele Pratt, co-founder of Capitalixe, and Maria Ioannou, Business Development Junior Director of ECOMMBX. And I'm excited, really, to be part of these discussion points. So let's welcome the ladies. So, starting this discussion, could you please briefly introduce yourselves and your role within the company? I mean, your leading role that you have, and would love to hear a bit about what your company does and what you're doing, how you're leading, and your actual touch in this decision making. As the topic it's mentioned, it's not just a seat on the table. You're ruling. So I would like to hear more from your side. So what that means to you personally, and Lissele, let's start with you first.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ioanna, for the introduction, and I'm really excited to be here today, and thank you all ladies for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you all here, to be able to share my insights and expertise from coming up in this industry, and also really happy to see there's some guys here as well. Really happy about that. So just to give you a background about who I am the founder of Capitalixe. I run a Fintech advisory firm where I help medium and high-risk industries to obtain reliable and trustworthy payments and banking solutions. I've been in the industry for over 10 years now. I started when I was just 18. And since then, came from working in the City of London at some of the biggest payment companies in the world, including Corpay and Global Reach. At 24, I spotted a gap in the market to serve the underserviced industries, and that's when my business Capitalixe was born. I've been in the industry, I've been running my business now for over 6 years. And on top of that, I'm also a Forbes 30 Under 30 honoree, TEDx speaker, and as of recently, top 100 women in Fintech. Thank you.
Maria, from your side.
Hello everyone, I'm excited to be here too. Thank you, Ioannou, for the introduction. I'm Maria Ioannou and I have been with ECOMMBX from the very beginning, leading the business development team. I would like to say that my frontline experience over the past 12 years has given me a unique perspective on the evolving market needs and greatly supports my role in business development, where we focus on identifying new markets, building strong relationships, and driving the company's growth. For those who may not be familiar, ECOMMBX is an EMI, electronic money institution regulated by the Central Bank of Cyprus. We specialize in B2B e-accounts with unique name IBANs under our own network on SEPA and SWIFT. And in addition, we're offering acquiring services, allowing to the customers to receive online payments through payment links and through the website. as well as currency conversion, FX deals, and card issuance. Over the past year, we have expanded our services to individuals, allowing everyone to easily obtain their own personal IBAN card by simply downloading our app and logging to the ECOMMBX. And our latest news is that we have recently expanded into the investment sector as well. We now offer brokerage and advisory services through the group's SIF company, which is ECOMMBX Investment Limited. Now, to address the second part of the question, for me, owning the room goes far beyond simply having a seat at the table. It's about shifting from inclusion to influence. It means showing up with confidence, knowing my voice matters, and at that presence to add value, challenge norms, and help shape decisions. It's not about dominance, it's about purposes, impact, and presence.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you both, for your intro. Outstanding careers, I would say. So, under which circumstances did you make your breakthrough in the industry? And what are the things that drive you to the place that you are now? And Maria, please let us know on that particular question.
I think my breakthrough happened when I stopped chasing the perfect opportunity and I choose to fully lean into my strengths. Being on the front lines taught me the power of communication and resilience. I have been all this year and I have learned how to manage everything and especially how to engage with customers, how to represent the company with the proper way and with confidence and to turn all the obstacles into opportunities for growth. It wasn't easy, but I have realized that every no, it wasn't just part of the journey, not a step sign, but a step forward. And in a competitive industry like ours, the key is to stand out, and that's exactly what we focus on. What drives me today, I think it's a mix of purpose, passion, and persistence. I want to create impact, and whether that's through innovation, mentorship, or building something meaningful. This industry evolves fast, and success requires both adaptability and staying grounded. But above all, I think that lasting success comes from deep passion for your work. When you love what you do, everything else naturally
Doesn't
follows.
matter. Yeah, exactly. How about Lissele?
My breakthrough in the industry, I would say, is when I quit my job in the city and decided to start my business and go at it full time. It really enabled me to come into my own person and to stop being like the city boys and to stop working like them as well. Because not only am I a woman, I also have ADHD, so I don't typically work like how everyone else does. I have my moments of hyper-focus. I have my creativity. I know I have my weaknesses as well. So it's all about putting those into perspective, know where I'm strong at, and then having the right team in place to help support me on my weaknesses. So I like to stay in my zone of genius. And I would also say my biggest breakthrough came when I stopped apologizing and didn't ask for permission. And I think this is a really big thing as well, because when you're working in finance, during my time in the city especially, I had people tell me advice like, oh, you just have to act like a man, you just have to be more like a man or dress like a man, like try and blend in. But that just wasn't me, and I felt like I wasn't being true to myself. So now, I'm just me, and I feel like that's the best thing that helps me to come out and to stop and to really break through into the industry is when you're totally yourself and you're genuine and you're staying true to your values and who you are as a person.
So actually, hearing both of you, that it covers also part of myself, let's say as a combination. Maybe I'm not like a co-founder, but taking some points, and this is what I would say is that a woman, in order to take the seat and not just a seat, is basically to stop obeying on the man-ruled environment and showing off your own feminine personalities. And on the other side, you speak, but you do not echo others. So actually, this is the 2 points that you hear what your own mind says, and you speak while you don't echo others. So it's amazing. Very good. Very good. So we talk about falling and raising up again a lot in the industry. What's a moment of quiet success that you're really proud of? And what strategy did you use or not?
I think the role I have chosen, it's all about failing and raising at the same time. I can think many examples for both cases, but I believe that ultimately personal success, it's about finding satisfaction for standing tall when things aren't going your way. And I'm saying that because, to be honest, I have never really felt like I was failing. Sometimes it's all about perception.
Yeah.
I saw always these moments as opportunities for growth rather than failures. Because if I saw every lost deal as a failure, I wouldn't be here today. Instead, I focus on understanding people's needs, showing up when it matters, and offering solutions. And I think this is a way that we can build trust and loyalty. There is no secret behind it. It's all about being transparent, honest, genuine, and be able to help people, with the way that you would love to. And the rest will come.
Thank you. Is it?
What was the question? Sorry.
We talk about failing and raising up again, and a moment of quiet success that you're really proud of, and the strategy that you used or not used.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's. I like that question actually, and I feel like I'm very hard on myself, and I'm sure a lot of women in this room are quite hard on themselves as well, trying to prove themselves in a man's world, and I feel like this has led me a lot of times into burnout and just overworking myself to the bone. So I feel like I've managed to get myself onto a good level of balancing and knowing when I'm reaching my limits. But during the early days of starting my business, I was definitely working myself to the bone, to the point of like me breaking down and crying and not being able to work for 2 weeks. So I would say those are the points where I've experienced failure in. I would say maybe I saw failure in myself. But at the end of the day, the things that happened during those times actually enabled me to create the success that I have now. So I don't look at it as a bad thing, but it was also a learning curve not to get myself to the point, because if I'm at a point of burnout and I can't work for 2 weeks, then my business suffers. And it did suffer at one point during the first year, where it was during December though, so that was a good point. That was a good time because everyone was quieting down. But in terms of quiet success, I think for me, quiet success is seeing how far I've come from sleeping above a bar with no toilet on the floor in Bangkok at 12 to who I am now as a Forbes 30 under 30 7-figure business owner. So it's showing that, like, for myself, seeing the journey of how far I've come, I think that's my quiet success inside. And I don't usually share this, but I feel like with you ladies, I want to share some inspiration and to know that even no matter where you've come from, no matter who you were in the past, and who your family are or anything like that, you can achieve anything that you want to achieve if you believe in yourself and if you work hard and you have the right strategies and mindset in place. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Lissele. Thank you, Maria. I mean, both as a summary, I would say that there is not a single, but just as an advice, let's say, from both of the ladies, is that there is not an actual failing point. It's at the point that it makes you the personality that you are today, some years after that point. So we don't take literally a failure, even if there is a wrong decision on your career path, let's say. You jump, let's say, and you weren't ready. That doesn't mean that you will not be ready in 2 months, in 3 months period, you will be at the end of the day. So there is not a failure point. This is what I get from both of you, and I really support that.
Absolutely. I have a good saying is, you never fail, you fail forward, because even during your failures, you learn something and you take it on board for the next career or for the next opportunity that you have. Like, for example, I've had businesses in the past that have failed. When I was 16, I set up my first jewelry business. I learned a lot about sales, and that really helped me to equip myself to creating Capitalixe to what it is today. So yeah, you don't fail, you fail forward.
Very nice. So moving forward to the next topic is, and we're going to the topic is, Lissele, let's start with you. As someone who is also active in founding and leading in the fintech sector, how are you navigating this traditionally conservative and perhaps male-dominated space? And how do you challenge outdated workplace cultures?
Oh,
Yeah, particularly with regard to the fair growth opportunities for everyone, focusing on building trust and asserting authority.
I like this one. And I think it all starts with me not apologizing for who I am as a person. I know I'm a woman, and I'm not going to try and hide myself as a woman. As a woman, I like to look good. I like fashion, so I'm not going to try and hide that either. So I think it's all about just being bold in who you are, and knowing, like, okay, this is a male-dominated industry, but this is who I am too. And I feel like I've shared a lot of my journey on LinkedIn, and what's been really nice is having the support of other women, when they come to me and they get inspired by my journey. And I feel like this is how I'm able to create a rope ladder for the next generation coming into the industry, and how I'm also raising awareness about diversity and inclusion, equality, and all of those, and everything like that. So for me, it's all about really paving the way and speaking up for people that may not have a voice, or they may feel shy in sharing their insights and having a voice to share to the world. So I want to be that voice for the rest of us, so we can have a better future for women in the future. And I don't know if I'm going off topic here.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. And I think it's all about just being unapologetically yourself, I would say. Just, if you have a specific personality, just lean into that. That's the advice I would say.
Okay, thank you, Lissele. Maria, from your side on the male-oriented environments and outdated cultures.
I think consistency builds trust. I realized early on that true authority isn't about being the loudest voice in the room.
Right.
It's about being the most grounded one. It comes from knowing your worth, staying true to your values, and showing up with consistency and substance. I speak when I have something meaningful to say, but when I do, I make it count. And I learned that you don't need to be shouted to be heard. You just need to own your perspective and deliver it with clarity and confidence. And yes, by being one of the few women in the room can be doubting, but instead of shrinking, I choose to stand tall, not by imitating others, but by leaning into what makes me different. And I think that people over time stop seeing the woman in the room and start seeing the person with the sharpest insight. When I began my professional journey, I was fortunate enough to meet people who saw something in me before I could see it in myself. They pushed me to become who I am today, they invested in me, and they showed me that nothing comes easy, nothing comes for free, unless you truly want it and you are willing to work hard for it. And I have always aspired to be that kind of person, someone who can recognize talent and offers others the same opportunity. As of today, in my own leadership path, I ended up building a team of 7 incredible, diverse, and powerful women. Women who didn't have all the ticks in the box from the beginning, but they had fire, resilience, vision, and all the potential to succeed. And while company growing is not always easy to make the right choices, but since I consistently prioritize character and potential over having the full package of technical knowledge, this approach initially raised some uncertainty. But in the end, it turned out to be one of the best hiring decisions that we have ever made. And these women have not only succeeded, but they have helped to shape a company's culture and impact in powerful ways. And over the years, I have come to understand that investing in underrepresented talent isn't risk, it's revolutionary.
Correct. You know, from my perspective, and summing up what both of you have said, is that a woman, in order to be voiced, doesn't mean that it needs to be shouting or being like overruling the room. But it's basically showing the technical and knowledge that she has and the competence that she has. But one of the strongest, I believe, points that both of you mentioned in one way or another and behind the words is that for a woman to lead, to be the voice in the room and managing the people as well, because it's one point also, is to lead and manage both males and females on the same level, because it's also our capacity to do so. And if you do that through your knowledge and your expertise, that you're smart enough, equal to any other person, irrespective of the sex, right? So actually, yeah, it's 2 points that both of you mentioned in one way or another as a sum up that is part of who we are as female figures, that we are all of us here together.
It's all about confidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just having the confidence and knowing that you're worthy of whatever you want and believing in yourself. I would say that it starts in the core.
You believe what you say.
Yeah.
You support your own opinion. If you
Yeah.
don't know and you don't have this,
Yeah.
fire
Yeah.
in your words, in your eyes, in your attitude, in your perspective,
Yeah.
then you don't actually manage or lead.
Yeah. And if people don't believe in you, so if you don't believe in yourself, then how do you expect others to believe in you as well?
Yeah, exactly. So, thank you for moving forward to our next topic, which is the mental and women's health issues, which are critical, yet often overlooked from the whole working environment, let's say. So how are you addressing these issues which uniquely impact women, and what more needs to be done to create truly inclusive and supportive workplaces? Maria, let's start with you.
Well, for those who know me well, often say that I find balance by embracing the chaos. But jokes aside, I have moved away from glorifying burnout. There was a time in my life that I thought that pushing myself to the limit was proof of my dedication. But I have learned that true progress doesn't come by letting yourself get exhausted. In the beginning, none of us know how to manage everything. We learn step by step. The same goes for me. And while I'm still deeply passionate about what we are building at ECOMMBX, I have had to learn how to manage my emotions, my time, and my energy, especially as the company, the team, the clientele, and the responsibilities continue to grow. This industry moves fast, and there is always a pressure to be on, but that doesn't mean that we cannot set healthy boundaries. And I realized that well-being is more important. That we're thinking of. I have learned how to prioritize my well-being without losing my focus, and I have come to understand that clarity, impact, and strong leadership come from being mentally and emotionally balanced. So for me, sustainability isn't a luxury; it's a leadership principle anymore.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Is it?
And I love that you've talked about burnout and everything like that, because during the early days of my business, I burned out so many times, and not being able to work, that doesn't just impact my team, it impacts me and my company and my profit and revenue. So it's definitely an impact. And also health as well. When you feel good, you perform at your best, and when you feel good and you're healthy inside, that's when you're going to have the peak performance levels, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, in terms of mental health, women's health, and everything like that, I think it's important, like for the women that I've had on my team, I mean, we have like an open conversation about women's health and everything like that, cycles and
Yes.
and all those things. So having like an open conversation, not hiding away from it, but just knowing how your team are feeling. Like, for example, if they're going through a certain cycle of the stage, knowing what cycle they're at, so you know maybe their moods might reflect that. So just being open to, because at the end of the day we are not men, we are women, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's important to say.
I mean, it's not a taboo to have your period.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, you're a woman.
Yeah.
And you're in the zone and the age that you're gonna have that. And all the men in this room as well, they have a mother, they have a sister, they have a girlfriend, they have a woman, a wife or a girlfriend. So they all know the problems that we're passing through a normal cycle. And I believe, in my perspective, is that each week just gives you a different skill.
Yeah.
Which is based on hormones, on chemistry. So it's actually each week it gives you a different skill and a different way of thinking, because everything happens in the brain. So, and affects the rest of the body.
It's hormones at the end of the day, isn't it? And it depends what stage you're at. It's like you can be in a stage where you have high energy, and then you can be in a stage where you have low energy. So it's like taking that into consideration in yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So for women, you know, each week is a different gift, let's say, that we're taking into advantage, especially for women that they are leading their companies, their departments, co-founders. I mean, both of you are exceptional personalities. So yes, each week is different, and we take advantage of that particular week into our own, you know, use, let's say, in our skills and leading skills. So we're reaching to the end of this discussion, and I would like you to give me a closing remark of 30 seconds as giving an advice to all the women on all ages and at any stage of their professional journey. So, Lizette, let's start with you.
Okay. So I just want all of you women here to know that you're just as deserving and just as capable as anyone else in this event and in the world. And if you want to go for if you want to do something in your life, or if you have a specific dream, just go for it. It may or may not work, but at the end of the day, as we've been discussing, you don't fail, you fail forward, and everything propels you towards what you're going to achieve in life. And it's so important to get outside of your comfort zone as well, because growth happens when you get outside of your comfort zone. So that's what I would say.
Thank you, Lizette. Maria?
I will say, I will use something that Lizette said in the beginning. Don't wait for permission to speak up. Don't downplay your ideas to make others feel more comfortable. You have a unique perspective, and that's exactly what this industry needs. Let your difference be your advantage. And always remember that we are not here just to fit in. We are here to shape what comes next.
We're here to disrupt.
From my closing remark of this exceptional panel with Lizette and Maria, and from all what they have said today, is that don't be afraid to speak. Maybe your idea is something that they never heard. It's just you need the right ears to be heard. So just keep doing that. And, you know, the ears are everywhere, you know, and they will hear you. So just say what you believe and what your opinion is on the matters, on the topics that we're discussing. Is important to speak out loud, and don't wait from anyone to give you the permission.
And just another thing, leaders love ideas. Like whenever my team gives me ideas, I'm just so, I love them for it, because it shows me that they're thinking for themselves. So yeah, if you want to get brownie points, share your ideas.
Yes.
Oh, go for it.
Oh,
Me?
Before you decided to start, before you decided to start your journey into the business world, there was someone in your life who basically was your pillar, let's say, or the person who has inspired you the most.
Yeah, I would say the person that inspired me the most has been my granddad. He came from a working class background in the UK where he shared just one room with his whole entire family, and he built himself up from scratch into a big property developer in London and Cornwall, and he had built hundreds of properties around the world. Sorry, not around the world, but hundreds of properties in the UK. And he always taught me about the importance of money and the importance of investing my money as well. So in more ways than he hasn't realized, he's really shaped my entrepreneurial journey and my view towards money. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you to him.
thank you.
You can answer the same question by Maria.
Okay. As I said, actually, before, I was fortunate enough to meet some persons in my life that they saw something in me. But since the last 12 years, I'm here at ECOMMBX, and one of the most important persons actually that they show me and guide me accordingly, it's our current CEO and managing director, which is Michael Haralambidis. He's one of the most inspiring person that I ever know. So yeah, he is the one actually that he created this master today. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I think he wants to ask a question.
Yes. What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So my name is Hassan and I'm an executive coach. And first I want to congratulate you for such an excellent panel discussion. It's very inspiring to see women in leadership really motivate the team and the room and share their wisdom as well with us. It's very commendable as well, and I look up to women in that way. My question is really for all the panelists, and I would love to hear, because you've touched on certain aspects that really make women stand out and as leaders. It might sound like a provocative question for men, but what can men learn from women?
Emotional intelligence.
Multitasking.
Sorry, that just came out of my head. That is the ADHD.
Shall we?
So you want to answer that?
Okay. I think that the same things that someone can teach to any other person, irrelevant of the gender, irrelevant of the sex that previously Ioanna mentioned. Definitely I can say that our brain, I think that a part of our brain is thinking totally different, but indeed, the multitasking part, to be more focused on some aspects of the life. I'm going to compare, let's say, my team with which is only focused in business development. Let's say definitely throughout all those years, we have some men in our department. I ended up having all women, as you can see. Not because I said, I love women and I'm doing discrimination or anything else, but at the end of the day, I ended up that we work better together. Whether we're talking about chemistry, whether we're talking about cooperation, common understanding, common gynecological issues, common breakdown or mental health or whatever, it was the best actually for our company at the end of the day. But I'm sure that irrelevant of the gender, and I'm saying that again, that both genders can learn a lot of things to each other. So yes, I don't want to add more things because there is no value point here.
Lizette?
What can men learn from women? I think there's a lot of things that men can learn from women in terms of leadership. So being more empathetic. I'm not saying that all men are not empathetic, but I think from my experience in working in the city, that has, especially from working with a lot of male leaders and everything like that, and I have worked with female leaders too. I think they can learn to. Some of them can learn to maybe lean into their empathy more. I think that would help them to, and just know that not everything is about numbers, and just being robotic. It's also like there's also a colorful way of working. So yeah, I would say empathy is a good one.
Thank you. I hope that it answers your question.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else? Basically, okay, I mean, you cannot use such a chart. In my personal opinion, maybe the ladies will answer also that, but you cannot use that chart as 100%, let's say, accuracy. That, okay, so my boss is at this day of the cycle, so I can approach her, you know. That's not the way that it works, you know.
Part of the cycle are you on?
Yeah, people, they can approach us at any time, you know. Today, tomorrow, you know, it's just that sometimes the way that we are working, or the way that we're answering or approaching a subject is in a different way. Some days maybe in the circle, maybe we're more in detailed and more focused. There are times that we want to be more isolated, so we'll work on a super focus and a super like ADHD that Lissele mentioned, but most of the women, they're doing that, especially on difficult days, that they want to use this time that is difficult to be on a super focus part. And I can say that week, or the first days of that week, we can finish one of the most important projects, let's say, or multiple projects in 2 days. Why? Because we choose the isolation. My personal perspective, and on a personal level, I answered this particular question. But maybe I can hear also from your side this answer on the particular chart.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of unheard of, to be honest. But maybe.
Get this up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how she would feel about you. Would you approach it to her, or? Yeah, I don't know.
No, I wouldn't. But maybe like zooming out, like leaning into those strengths at the right times could make better results holistically for the world, for raising so.
Well, maybe you can bring her like a study to show, like, oh, if we do this, maybe you've just been saying, like, you've been like, I don't know, maybe you need to do more research. Yeah, well, maybe, yeah, I don't know. I don't know is the honest answer.
I can say that in Admirals, that I'm also a director in Admirals, we did such training to all of the employees. It was an initiative of our HR department. And it was an initiative for the difficult days and a cycle, and explaining each cycle, let's say, in each week and each day, how it works, and in numbers and in chemistry. So yeah, maybe when you design, you can join those Admirals to get to know them. Anyone else?
Don't be shy.
No? No. I think we're finishing up.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, everyone.